Is a brand new crew for Neptune. I think most of you will know all about Neptune and everything they've done, previous Whitbread racer and so on. This is the last leg, and we're going to try and do as many quick video tours inside the boat and talk about the boat as well. So good to see you, Veronica. Congratulations
nice
for coming on board, and good luck with the voyage.
Yes.
Tell me first a little bit about your background. This is your first leg on
yes, it is. Yes.
on the OGR,
yes.
leg 4. Okay. Hang on,
I'm
running the camera now.
I've been here on the boat before.
Yeah.
But I'm used to sail since I'm born. I'm on boats.
Okay.
I'm sailing boats.
And you were telling me before you've actually sailed around the world.
Yes, during 5 years with my parents when I was young. Yes.
Yeah. How old were you then?
I was 12 to 17.
Yeah. Okay. And you're looking forward to this, obviously. You're looking forward to sail in the OGR, obviously.
Yes.
A little bit of apprehension?
No.
No? No?
No.
Yeah.
No apprehension, no.
Yeah, okay.
I'm so happy.
Excellent. All right, so we're going to just literally focus on the boat.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm going to, and you might be able to answer some questions for me when we get going. So it's an aluminium boat. It's gone through 2 major refits in its life. First one was about 30 years ago, maybe 25 years ago, and then it was found and completely rebuilt by Tan and all the crew, pushing Parkinson's with Bertrand and so on. So I'll run around the deck in fact I'll do the deck now. We'll just give you a bit of an overview. So orange is a safety theme and also the theme of the boat. Very much a Whitbread boat from back in the day, you know, centre cockpit, lots of different winches and everything at the mast here. So you've got a mast pit. You can see that, not dissimilar to all the Swans. In those days they didn't have jammers, they didn't have rope jammers or rope clutches, but now they do. So that's all there. Pretty big boat, it's a big powerful boat for sure. And the beauty of aluminium, you can replace bits and pieces. If the aluminium's tired, they can chop it out and mould things around and do whatever. So Veronica, what's your role going to be on the boat? You're just a general crew, or you've given a specific task?
I think it's general. I am a general crew, and
yeah.
I will be also a medic assistant.
A medic assistant.
Yeah.
You've got a medical background?
Yes, I am a nurse.
A nurse?
Nurse practitioner.
Perfect. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. And yes, so how many crew are going to sail on this leg?
We are 9.
9.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good. You've got
and
two watches of 4 maybe, and then a float. So huge foredeck hatch here, furling gears on the staysail, and probably the number 2. There's 3 forestays up the front. You can see the outer stay, which would hold your number 1s and all that, number 1 Genoas. Then you've got a reefing gear on the inner forestay. Well, it's not the inner forestay, number 2 forestay. That'd be like a number 2 Genoa. And then you've got the staysail there as well. So that's a really good system, because running with 2 head sails up there, you can save your spinnakers if it's really borderline. And having the number 2 Genoa, which you can actually furl up very easily, if you pole that out to windward and then leave the bigger one loose to leeward, you can really power the boat up in the Southern Ocean. However, this is all about a windward leg 4. Anyway, it's all pretty solid. You can see that they're very simple and rugged and reliable. There's not a lot to go wrong. Looking back down the boat, they've got 3 poles. Got 2 big ones there and a slightly smaller one as well. So that will just, obviously they've got choices and there's backups if they lose one. Jane's just taking all the technical photos of the boat at the moment, so they'll go up on the technical gallery. Anyway, that's a very big hatch for sure. We'll work our way down here. You can see here they've got 2 pole bells here. This one here, and that's probably for the smaller diameter pole. So they can actually run twins. They've got it on the other side. So rather than creating the compression on the mast, that gives you another lot of flexibility for doing all sorts of different rigs. I know on Explorer we've got a small pole to pole out the staysail even. So that's kind of cool. And she's in beautiful condition. There's no question about that. So 2 life rafts. We have a requirement for 200% capacity. So if one life raft is launched and it doesn't inflate, you've got a backup. Plenty of ventilation. Ventilation is really important on the boats. You can see the cowl vent there. There's another couple forward under the vang. Their vang is on a track, so they can strap it down vertically, which is quite efficient. And it's always a big risk also when the boom's out, hitting the water and maybe breaking the boom, but they've got a pretty solid boom. This is actually a new rig, by the way. It's a Sparcraft rig, brand new with the boat, so very impressive. Triple spreaders, again, it doesn't look like an America's Cup rig, not super sophisticated, and it doesn't need to be. It's just simple, rugged, reliable engineering that's done really well. Sparcraft are very good at that and got a strong reputation. Anyway, let's come back here to the cockpit. So looking here at the cockpit, very traditional, big winches, all self-tailing, no grinders here, and that's a plus, I reckon, because standing on deck with a grinder can be a little bit tricky, but there it is, there's the grinder. I always see Bertrand back here going crazy on this lot. That's the pedestal that's linked to various winches, but in the cockpit it's clear, so the pedestal's in quite a unique position right at the back of the boat. Very powerful backstay adjuster, hydraulic back. Oh no, that's a worm drive. Okay, yeah, it's a Baymar worm drive backstay adjuster, and they've got rod rigging, which is saving a bit of weight aloft. There's the John Boy. Now I've often spoken about that when it gets in the way on these boarding situations. This fires automatically. You've got a trigger there, you fire it, and the gear drops off the back of the boat. Just Google John Boy, and most of the boats have fitted them. They're not compulsory, but they're really quite cool. So I'm not ignoring you there, Veronique. Just doing a quick rundown. After you, I'll follow you down, and let's have a look at what's happening. First of all, the cockpit here is really great. You can see they've got two little cuddy cabins here. You can sit someone there when they're off watch and sit someone down on both sides. You can see that. It's a lot of protection. They're geared up with their wet weather gear, one person on the helm, and they're instantly ready to go. That's exactly what I had on my BOC boat. I had exactly the same thing, a little cuddy down there, so I could hide out, and you can drop these curtains down in the Southern Ocean to keep the spray and the wind out. But for the next leg, it's all going to be about keeping the water out but letting the air in, because it's going to get very hot. So wow. This looks good, eh? Yeah. It's very even the color coordination is pretty good. Jeepers. Okay, a few little things here. You can see they've got all their headlamps here all racked up on a rail. So and then they've got a sunny rack, sunglasses rack, that's important. Some big rechargeable torches, sort of like flooding torches. Looks like that'd be two sextant boxes there. Yep, you got two sextant boxes ready to go. They would put something over the top if it looked like a rollover situation. It's quite a wide companionway as well, so that's coming through, and good visibility. So you've got a chance of looking at things before you actually come up on deck. Wow. So where's your bunk, Veronica? Do you know which is your bunk?
No, it's
You have it. Your bunk is not selected yet.
This night I slept there, like there.
Yeah.
Right there.
So
But
you're
but it's hot bed.
hot bunking.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
There's only 8 for 9.
Yes. All right. So looking across, we've got the galley there. That's again straightforward as well. On the Swans, it's always usually a huge oven and stuff, and they're baking bread all the time. But this is a lot simpler. It looks like it's gas. Yes, it's a gas 2-burner. That's it. They've got the kettles there. Huge sink. This is out of the laundry, not for dishes. That's quite solid. And a rack of their little thermos water bottles, you know, for hot drinks as well, I think. Yeah. Racked up there. Very open plan, buckets and bins open for all the gear at the back. That might be a watch system up there. Is that a watch system? Or is
it's
that
the menus.
It's the menus.
Yes,
You're running. That's cool. So probably running a 7 or 5 day cycle of menus and just repeating them. Everyone's got a different take on food, that's for sure. So aluminium deck. This is going to get really hot because that's sort of like sound insulation, but it's not.
It's insulation with something.
Yeah, it's like a it's not a cork, but it's something or other. So it's a little bit of insulation, but it's not huge. So I think they'll feel the temperature, that's for sure. Very simple lockers there as well. Coming back into the port quarter side, they've got a series of bins, racks, all with numbers. So I'd say every person gets a bin. That's right by the companionway, so they can get out of their bunk, come up here and gear up. There's a whole series of bins there for boots. It's just full of boots. So this is their gearing up platform for sure. So that's pretty impressive. Then coming right through under the cockpit, Not sure how much you're going to see here, but it's the business end. I'm not sure what's in the rack there, but you can see it's very clear access to all the
storage for food, for
food storage. Yeah, they're all in watertight
sales.
bags. So I don't know whether we might be a bit dark here, but I'm looking at... Oh, here we go. Rightio. I'll prop myself up here.
Yes.
See how we go. Get around here. So it looks like they've got the food in like 60-litre watertight bags, all numbered. So they probably pull one out for every 4 or 5 days or something and get going from there. There's some empty. That's probably for veggies, this net here. And you've got access to all of the steering gear. I've got to drive this up. Oh, I'm driving the gimbal the other way. Can't get to it, but you've got pretty good access to all the steering gear if there's ever a problem.
Yeah, it's important.
And typical T-frame sections for the aluminium construction. So so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'll just turn this around and head out the other way. I've had a few aluminium boats, so it seems very familiar to me. So you can see there now, we've got walking down the port side again. You've got a crew bin here.
Yep.
So there's two bunks up here on the port side, and then in the centre you've got another 2 bunks. So there's 4 and 4. So that's pretty cool. They've all pipe burst, pretty solid mattresses. Actually, they feel pretty good. They're about 3 inches, 75 mil, 7.5. Lee cloths there, rollover cloths. It's all adjustable to allow for a bit of healing, keep it a bit flatter, and it keeps the warmth of all the people in the one spot. They're actually good bunks,
Yes.
eh? That's not bad at all. Yeah, quite impressive.
We have something
Quite impressive. I'll be making people seasick here. I'm just going to hold it there for a bit and see.
water
Maybe I
tank
can go
here.
to a wide angle. No, I can't.
You've got the water tank here?
Oh yeah, water tank, just simple PVC
first
water
one?
tank.
Yeah.
How many tanks are there?
2.
Just the one. There's a
one
manifold
is
there
the
for the
first
water, pumps and so on. Really good access to everything. I mean, the
Yes.
Swans are pretty good. They've been built like a proper yacht from 50 years ago, but it's still not as accessible as some of
Here is
what I'm
the
seeing
engine,
here.
Mast.
Sorry?
Here is the engine.
Engine, yep. Okay, I'll just keep going on the port side here. So huge structures for the mast and rigging, a massive structure, big box sections there, and all look pretty good. Sails and bits and pieces there, and then up forward a lot of sails. So this is the sail bin. Not a lot to say, but it's typical ocean racing one. This one, flyer class. Lines there. They've got a lot of lines and bits and pieces still on the dock, sorting things. Bins down below, so pretty accessible. This is really like living the Whitbread. You know, this is a proper racing boat, whereas the Swans are sort of like classic production boats. So, what was the boat that you sailed around the world in when you were younger, when you were 12?
It was a Jeannot, a French one.
Oh yeah, I know Jeannot.
Yes, 40 foot.
40 footer, yeah, cool. Yeah, that would have been fun. Jeannot's always had a very good reputation as sea boats. They were built really well. We used to supply some of the equipment. It's a long story. I represented them for some of the equipment. Anyway, I'm chopping over to the other side now. So we're coming down the starboard side, and it's a repeat of the port side, basically. You've got this work area here, bits and pieces, survival suits there. And then in the centre, forward of the mast, you've got the engine, which is very interesting. It must be a hydraulic drive, maybe. I'm not sure what the drive is, but this is the main engine. So
And look at here.
Yep.
It's interesting. There is.
that's access to the engine as
the
well.
access.
Yeah.
Good access.
Yeah, cool. So they've got a deck hatch here, but I won't worry about opening it and everything. But you've got access to it. Looks like a Volvo. It's green, Volvo green, and I'm not sure where the prop is coming out, but it's certainly in the right spot for racing. So that's kind of cool. And the good news is, I mean, Tan and all the boys are already talking about and looking at 2027 OGR. So they said they've learnt a lot already from this edition, and they said they can come back faster and stronger next time. So there you go. There's your bunk, Veronique. Very cool. It's probably tidier than the boys. You know, how many girls are on board for this leg?
One.
Just you? Yeah, that's all right. That's cool. All right, so coming through the mid cabin there, we've got the nav station. Okay, so we've got an ICOM that's 710. Yeah, ICOM 710. That's the same radio I used in 1990 BOC.
Oh, really?
which is a fantastic radio. You can't, they don't make them anymore. They make a 710 Pro, but you can't program the stations on that. Anyway, very simple bits and pieces. We don't have a huge requirement for electronics. All new electrical in the refit and so on. Chart table with a big bayonet sticker there. Bayonet are actually doing our bayonet platform. You know, everything about following the race online. It's a platform there you can get on and get all sorts of stuff on the one page. It's quite fascinating, so you should check that out. But chart tables don't come much simpler than that. That's all there is to it. It's really quite straightforward, so that's kind of interesting. And then over here, following through, you've got all the safety gear, all the safety harnesses and bits and pieces. So again, this is the gearing up area. There's a bit of a seat here that they can sit on, get themselves organised, and quite a big head then. So you go into the head, a bit of privacy there. You've got a door and the usual thing, a sink. Super dunny toilet. That's using a bilge pump to flush it out, a vacuum-based toilet. The lid seals as a vacuum. I wonder if they've got enough toilet paper there. Not sure. Always fascinating. The funniest story is Robert Knox Johnson on Sue Haley. I was always fascinated. He said in the book that he only took about, I don't know, 14 or 15 rolls of toilet paper for all the way around the world. Didn't make sense. Weather facts there. So this is the central saloon sort of thing for sitting and eating. It's really quite a smart design. You know, it's really quite clever. So this is the best place to be for movement of the boat while you're sitting having a feed. That table flops across, so it's short at the moment, but it comes out bigger. There's the leg folded onto the floor. Very sensible. A little bit of a book rack, weather facts, the mandatory cassette tape player there, which is cool. There's a helmet for going up the mast, or if you're worried about being on deck. And yeah, it all looks pretty good indeed. And guess what? Here's Jane taking photos. Bit of a challenge to get Jane to be seen at any time. Okay, all right. So what's your favourite place on the boat? What do you think will be your favourite place to be, Ronnie?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Everywhere. All the boat is exciting.
Because you haven't sailed the boat at all yet? You haven't been on, this is your first sail?
Yes,
yeah.
on this boat, yes.
Yeah, so you're a very experienced sailor and jump aboard and go with the flow. Yeah, so you're a very experienced sailor, and you now just get on board and go with the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is fantastic. Okay, well that's really good. I'll get another look of the companionway here from the inside looking out. You can see their wheel is very groovy orange. We had one on Explorer, but the orange is now faded. I really like this whole management here and design concept of people movement going in and up and out of deck there and all that sort of stuff. It really looks quite efficient. Great big wheel, big protection. The compass, we wiped out our compass on Explorer. Someone got thrown across the cockpit and took the compass with them. So it's held on by duct tape at the moment. All right, I think we're done. So what made you decide to do the OGR? Was it a sudden, when did you first hear about the Ocean Globe race?
About 1 year ago.
Yeah.
Because the young man on board was a friend of mine.
Yes.
And I was excited when I knew that he was on this race.
Yes.
But I didn't know that myself I will be once aboard.
Yes. Because I think you're an emergency drop-in. I think they lost the previous woman on board. We gave them a dispensation for leg 3 and said you have to have someone for leg 4. So how long did you have to prepare to get on board? When did you know you were coming?
At the end of October.
Okay, well that's not so bad. Yeah, perfect. Okay.
So.
All right, well good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for letting us on board. Tan's not here. I think they're still finishing up on last minute jobs and stuff, but it's good to play it around. Anything you'd like to see, Jane?
No.
No, everything's good? Okay. All right, so I'm going to turn this way so I'm on camera and then Jane can turn it off while it's happening. So thank you very much, Veronica. That's really cool. So that's Neptune sailing on board. I didn't say the teddy bears. Not Bertrand. Yeah, Bertrand has teddy bears. That's a Citron teddy bear. And that's, what is it, an alligator?
I don't know.
There's something else? A platypus maybe? No, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's interesting. So, okay, everyone has something on their boats, you know. So anyway, all good. Thank you. See you later.